Alrighty, so today's experiment is called the iodine clock reaction. Just going over what we just learned. This reaction is just explaining the concept how in the real world of chemical reactions, not all reactions come to a completion of just making products. Ideally, like in textbook, that's what we learned. Like you have reagent A and B put together, and you get C and D in a complete reaction moving in one direction. However, we know that in certain chemical reactions, products are produced in a forward direction, but also those products under certain conditions can decompose back into their starting reagents. And usually that happens in a closed system, a closed controlled system. And so this iodine clock reaction is demonstrating how two different reactions are happening at the same time, and starting off at different rates or speeds, and then continuing back and forth. So for this experiment, I need solution in this cup. In this cup, I have two different solutions. They're supposed to be relatively clear. However, I still had some undissolved product in each. In this first cup, I have just regular distilled water, regular water, and vitamin C. Tablets are crushed up and dissolved in this solution. And so iodine, it's I2 plus the vitamin C. The reaction happening there is you get iodine ion and hydrogen proton, which is acidic or acid there. And then in this solution B, as I'll call it, we have we have some water and hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. And we have some cornstarch mixed in there. And so I have a third empty cup here, which I will mix equal parts of each solution to demonstrate the chemical process. So what's supposed to happen is you'll have the hydrogen peroxide mixing with the iodine and the hydrogen proton there, and getting a iodine and water as products going back and forth between iodine and also the starch, making that solution. And this third cup should turn to a color solution demonstrated as blue. So I'll do that right now. Mix equal parts. I put about 100 milliliters of each in here. And this reaction should turn the solution after a while a different color. So here's the third cup with both solution A and B, as I called before, mixed together. I'm just going to stir it a little bit. And I know this reaction could take a while. There you go. So the reason why, well, it's not necessarily blue there, but the reason why it is colored and not clear, because iodine by itself in an aqueous solution is a colored solution. I think if I'm predicting right, letting this sit should move back to clear. Again, there's two different reactions happening here, and it's going back and forth between colored and favoring a clear solution again. So And some things that, some factors that could affect how fast the rate of this chemical reaction or any forward and reversible reactions is the amount of product or reactant that you add, and also temperature. If I were to heat this up, then the solution, as I was stirring it, would have happened faster. It would have turned colors faster. Had I cooled this down, it would have taken longer, even with stirring. If I were to add perhaps more iodine solution, then it would have favored more product of iodine and water. Had I added more water, it would have reversed back to more hydrogen peroxide and iodine as well. So that is the iodine clock reaction. Again, here's the third cup. Here's my vitamin C and my iodine. And then over here is my cornstarch and my hydrogen peroxide in the water.